Yeah, the numbers not over the top with the Mini-Max, but it will grow. It's a good category, and they learn to drive on the same level as all the other guys. It's very good for them to see what they can achieve, and for us to see what they can achieve and what they aspire to with all the adults out there as well. But it's great to have the Mini-Max on board.
Of course it is, and now we've got the big boys on track for the seniors, so we're going to see what happens. And who's your money on, or you can't guess?
This is the second group of the senior Max, and the local guys have got to be the sure bet for sure. You got Max Timmermans up there, and he knows the track back to front, and Hoggard's been doing good too. So this will be very interesting to see what happens.
I know in the last race, Felix ran away with it, another local driver. He's had a bad weekend until now, but positive result for the end of the day, and we'll be watching. So here comes the rain again. Yeah, a little bit more rain. The tyre will work better rather than the greasy conditions. So yeah, this will be interesting. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks very much, Jen. Yep, so we're very shortly to get underway with the next of our senior heats here today at the Genk circuit in Belgium. We'll run you through the grid as we have it after the qualifying session from yesterday. This is Group B against Group C, and it will see Jonathan Hoggard start from pole position. Alongside him will be Max Timmermans. Both of those have been winners so far today. It's going to be a very interesting end to the seniors. Row 2 then sees the likes of Sarrazin Arnu with Noah Ruvers, local lad, alongside on row 2. Back on row 3 is the Italian, which is Alessandro Trombelli, with Max Pilka in 6th place. Row 4 headed by Walter Savidras with Christopher Drayspring. Then to row number 5 is Robert Kindervasser with David Remy. On row 6, Andre Volta with Ida Cohen. Row 7 is Harrison Thomas with Xander Prijbalik. Row number 8 is Scott Simmons with Ruben Norum Keverkeld. Row number 9 headed by Bastien Cochet and Henry Young alongside. And the final row of the grid, row 10, Matilda Olsen and Olivier Verhelt to round out the grid. Another local making their appearance here, 20th on that grid. So as we said, Hoggard and Timmermans, both winners today. Both of them are trying to be, I'd say, second on the grid. Max has it at the minute. If he gets a better result, he'll be second. If Jonathan gets a better result, he'll get second on the grid. So it's all about what plays out in this final race for the seniors here at the Heats Day, which is going to be interesting to look forward to. 11 laps on the cards. What's happening with the weather? It's raining again. Some more wet, greasy conditions for the drivers to deal with. Let's see how they'll handle it, though, with 11 laps on the cards. There's your front row. Jonathan Hoggard on the left. Max Timmermans on the right. Still having the few final changes to be done. Smoke emulating from the engines as they work their way down towards the final corner very, very slowly, just to make sure they've got everything set before the race gets underway. Sarrazin Arnu third on the grid. Noah Ruvers had a bad race earlier. Let's see if he can recover in this one and get a good solid result. He's had one DNF and one third place, so Noah Ruvers up for the grab here to see what he can do in his final encounter as they work their way through on towards the grid then to get this rolling start underway. On towards the light gantry will look where the red lights are on, and as soon as they go out we'll be racing here for seniors once more. Good start from Max Timmermans, but Hoggard now being pushed down towards the first corner. Can he hold on to the lead of the race? He's going to have to work very hard for it as they get close for company through that first turn. Timmermans out wide. He should get the inside line in towards turn number 2, which he does. So Timmermans through to second. He runs wide though on the exit of the corner, so through now up into second place is going to go the 218 machine of Sarrazin Arnu. He now jumps up the Frenchman into second place. Meantime, Jonathan Hoggard still leads the way. Everyone's safely through the first 5 corners, which is good. They all trundle their way down the back straight for the first time. Hoggard leads. Second for Sarrazin Arnu. Third place then is going to be Max Timmermans. Fourth place is Noah Ruvers, still by the looks of it. He's just about defending from the next cart in the train. In fact, that's just swapped now because Noah Ruvers is down to 5th. Coming through into 4th place is going to be the 206 machine. Is that Christopher Drayspring? Let's have a look back. Yes, it is. Christopher Drayspring to 4th, Noah Ruvers 5th. 6th place through in towards turn number 10 is going to be 251, which is David Remy. Great start again from him as they push on towards the final corner, and Max Timmermans has just gone through, I think, on Sarrazin Arnu. That is in fact correct. Yep, so Timmermans up to second in the rain as they head down towards the first corner, all clicking across the stripe for the first time at racing speed. There's David Remy looking for a move now on Noah Ruvers. I think he's just gone through as well, so Noah Ruvers losing another one, but David Remy, a great start to this race once more. He's made up places. And there's contact middle of the pack there as the 2 carts come together. That was 264, which was Henry Young, and 253 Matilda Olsen. Both of them will rejoin, but they'll be plumb last within this race as they turn off the hairpin at turn 5. Down the back straight goes that battle. This is the one towards the front though, which involves 4 cars at the minute, just about. Christopher Drayspring almost with them, or just about staying with them now as they charge their way through the right-hander at turn 7. Bit of a battled scar 255 there, which is a machine of Andre Volta, as he's now trying to get through on the next machine ahead of him, which is Noah Roovers. There goes our leader Jonathan Hoggard down through turn 9. Still keeping at bay here, Max Timmermans. Oh, not for much longer though, because Max has just gone through at turn number 9. Slight adjustment once more before the final corner for Max then as they power through on towards the start-finish line once more. Timmermans now leads. Second is Hoggard. Third is going to be that of Sarazan. Fourth place behind them is then Christopher Drayspring. Fifth is David Remy. Sixth place for Andre Volta. Then we have Noah Roovers now down to 7th place. A massive lot of time lost for Noah Roovers. Then we see Ida Cohen in 8th. 9th place for Volta Savidras. 10th place then for Kindervarta. And anyone that we've lost further down, I think they've all pretty much remained where they were. But Timmermans now is the man to take all the pressure from those behind. He's got a couple of carts on his tail as they head down the back straight once more. We're on to lap number 3 at the minute. Quick slaps of the race being set, but the best so far is Max Timmermans. Just wondering if the times are going to start to drop off with more rain. Yes, they are, because there is still rain falling out there, so they won't get any better. And it's all dependent on what tyres the drivers have gone for as well. If they're on slicks, it's going to be a very cautious end to the race. But for now, I think everyone's gone for wet tyres by the looks of it, at least for the top 4 or 5. They've all gone for the wet settings, as they had plenty of time before the race to decide what they wanted to do. Here comes now down towards the final corner. Looks like Sarazananu is trying to get through into 2nd place. He's given Jonathan Hoggard a big tussle there as they come onto the main straight once more. Just looking behind him there was the Sarazananu machine, just to see how close Christopher Drayspring was. He doesn't have to worry about him anymore because David Remy goes through now into 4th place. So the Swede again making up great ground within this race. Could he possibly be a race winner on those wet tyres as he powers his way now through the left-hander at turn number 4. He's only just off the tail now of Christopher Drayspring, off the back of Sarazananu. So let's see if he can get any more moves on this lap. Sarazananu not too far adrift from Jonathan Hoggard as well. He in turn now is 1.3 seconds adrift of the race leader Max Timmermans as they come through. The rain gets ever heavier now on track, so more rain starting to fall, which just makes it a little bit more tricky. In fact, it might make it a little bit easier for the racers, because when it's greasy, that in-between weather is not too good. But if it's full wet, full dry, you know what you're dealing with. So this might be a safe survival for all of those out front. And it may even change up the order once more towards the head of the field as the top 5 come down towards the last couple of corners. Hoggard still feeling the pressure from behind. Sarazananu there. 4th place for David Remy there on 251. 5th place is Christopher Drayspring. Then the gap back to 6th place, which is Andre Volta. 7th place the local lad Noah Roovers. 8th place is, in fact, now Noah Roovers. 7th place for Ida Cohen, who's made up a place on that lap. Behind them in 9th place is then going to be Volta Savidras, just ahead of Kindervarta in 10th place. On to lap number 5 we now head. This is the battle for 2nd place at the minute. All of those tied together very nicely. In fact, this is almost the battle for the lead, because they have just about kept with Max Timmermans. A little bit more spread out now, equidistant between the top 5. There's been a spin at turn number 1, I can tell you. The cart now rejoining. Is that 257 by the looks of it? That may be Xander Prijbalak, who has dropped down. Yes, it is. So 257 with a mistake at turn 2, in fact, that would have been. So Xander Prijbalak dropping to the tail of the field by the looks of it, as we focus once again on the race leader, Max Timmermans. Look how hard he's having to recorrect the turn into the right-hander. He's turning left when he wanted to turn right there, but that's just the way these carts go. You have to kind of alter the steering in the opposite direction. It's always opposite lock to get those back ends out, especially in these wetter conditions. Down towards the final corner have gone the leaders. Top 2 now just starting to pull away. So 3rd place man has been left on his own. Sarazananu goes across the line, 1.1 seconds adrift of the top 2. Jonathan Hoggard, in fact, is also 1.1 seconds back from Max Timmermans. No fastest laps being set at the minute, so it just gives the indication to us that weather conditions are not really improving. No one going any quicker on this 6th lap of the race. What's happening with David Remy? Well, he's right there on the tail now of Sarazananu, but still no way through for David at the minute. 0.3 of a second adrift at the start of the lap. as he heads off the back straight. Can he get through? No, still not close enough. Still got Christopher Drayspring to worry about in 5th place. On towards the left-hander goes our race leader at turn 8, Max Timmermans. Gap has just increased now between the top 2. Has come down though between 2nd and 3rd. So Sarazananu just closing their gap there. Is almost shaken off David Remy as well for the time being. So that's good news for Arnu. Still got half the race to go though, so nothing to be decided as of yet. It would mean though that Max Timmermans will qualify for the pre-final on the front row, which would be a similar situation from yesterday. In fact, one better. He qualified 3rd yesterday. It's going to be 2nd today. Can he go even one better tomorrow and get the win? That would delight him, I'm sure, but he's going to have his work cut out against Jordan Brown-Nutley. As we know, those two came and did battle earlier on today, and it was Jordan Brown-Nutley who came out on top. So if that's the same situation, then to be looking to Jordan Brown-Nutley for the win. But it's going to be tough opposition all round, especially with the weather playing its part this weekend. We are guaranteed a little bit of a dry conditions tomorrow. No rain is expected, but things do change here in Belgium fairly quickly, so don't count too much on that. But for now, we do still have the wet conditions on track for this final senior race. There's David Remy then on picture, working his way towards the back of Sarazananu. The other side of the track comes Max Timmermans in towards turn 9 then on this 7th lap. A lot of the curbs still being used, to be fair, which is quite surprising considering they'll be very, very slippy and could cause you some concern, but the driver's feeling they want to use them, so we'll let them do that for now. On towards the final corner they go. Timmermans leads by another increased margin, half a second gained on that lap alone now, ahead of Hoggard by 1.9 seconds. It's increased even further in the final sector of the lap. 3rd place is still Sarazananu, but how much longer for? Because David Remy is almost there now, looking for the inside line through turns 2 and 3. Let's see if David Remy has got anything to give to Arnu. On towards the right-hander at turn 5 is the quickest man on circuit at the minute, so he's found some grip out there. 112.849 is what he's just done. He gets a great run and a great slingshot onto the back straight. Here comes David Remy for a move to get himself up into 3rd place. Can he go for the inside line? Not quite. He's defending hard off the back straight is Sarazananu. Those two come back through then on towards turn 7. Let's see if they have changed positions. Nope, still as they were, I can tell you, looking out at the commentary box window. Max Timmermans still leads the way. There is the battle. In fact, it's just dispersed now, in fact, because David Remy didn't have the best of runs into the hairpin, but here he comes once more, even closer to the back of now Sarazananu. On towards turn 10. He's taken the very wide line at every single occasion is David Remy. He gets a good run down towards the final turn, but still the door is locked in his face. No way through on Arnu as they come now onto the line once more. Max Timmermans goes through. He leads Jonathan Hoggard by 2.3 seconds. Gets even bigger out front then as we now start the 9th lap of this race. No further changes amongst the top 5. No changes, well, there in fact is one change further back because Harrison Thomas and Max Pilker have moved up to 11th and 12th, and the one that's dropped down the order there is 248, which is the machine of Robert Kindervarter. He is now down in 14th place. He lost about 3 positions on that lap alone, so not too good a news for him. Lap 9 almost halfway through now as Max comes through the chicane at turn 6 where there's more rain starting to fall, I can tell you. Still not relenting at all throughout this encounter for the seniors. Certainly been a mixed day weather-wise for everyone, which I suppose is good. It gives us a mixed bag of results as well. David Remy now just off the back of our 3rd place man, so he's lost a bit of time on this lap alone. Slow first sector is 4/10 slower than those ahead. Back on Song in the 2nd sector, but he has lost now a few more tenths to the top 2 ahead of him, which is still Jonathan Hoggard and Sarazananu. In fact, Jonathan Hoggard under more pressure now from Sarazan, the Frenchman who comes through onto the 10th lap we now head. So 2 to go here in Belgium for the final senior heat of the day. 2nd, 3rd and 4th are together. You can see that now on telemundi.com. Through they come. Powering their way then on towards the exit of turns 3. On towards turn 4 they go. Noah Roovers, by the way, is down to 9th place now. So after a good initial start from 4th on the grid, he's now lost 5 places, has Noah Roovers. He may even lose a few more before the end because Scott Simmons is not too far adrift as well. Let's see if the Brit can move any higher up the order. There is Max though, our race leader, and looking to be second on the grid for the pre-final tomorrow. Jordan Brown-Nutley has secured the pole position, but again they'll finish on level points after the 3 races they've done today. They've had 2 first places it will be, and 1 second place, but Jordan Brown-Nutley with the better qualifying time aids him to have the better start on the grid. But it does show that Max Timmerman still has the pressure to take to Jordan Brown-Nutley, who has been very good so far this year, with a win in the Winter Cup and a win in the X30 Euro Series here last weekend, and a win at the X30 Winter Cup. He's been unstoppable, has Jordan, but can he take 4 out of 4? That's going to be the question when we come to tomorrow, and the points scoring rounds, of course. On towards the last lap we now head there. Max Timmerman's leading by 3.9 seconds. Jonathan Hoggard still has his work cut out here. He's still got the pressure from both Saracen Arnu and the very wide David Remy, I can tell you, on towards the back straight for the final time. He's going to be there or thereabouts though. Jonathan Hoggard still trying to hold on. If he stays where he is, or if he loses these 2 positions, will he still be third on the grid for tomorrow? Yes, he will. So he's got no harm in losing these 2 positions, or the position on the grid for tomorrow's pre-final, so he can let them go if he wishes to do so. But for now, David Remy goes down the inside line of Saracen Arnu to take 3rd place away. Gets a bit of skittish action there out of the corner as they head down towards turn 9, but David Remy has finally got the job done. He's up into 3rd place on the last lap, and they're being caught now by Christopher Drayspring as well. But we'll forget about that, because onto the final corner comes Max Timmerman. It's going to be 2 wins out of 3 here today at the Genk track. It sets him up for second on the grid for tomorrow's pre-final. Max Timmerman takes the final win in seniors today. 2nd place goes the way of Jonathan Hoggard in kart 300, just about pulled away there towards the end. 3rd place on the last lap for David Remy. Then we have 4th place for Saracen Arnu. 5th place is Christopher Drayspring. 6th place across the line will go Andre Volta, and then behind that is 7th place for Voltas Savidras. Ida Cohen, Scott Simmons and Harrison Thomas round out your top 10 at the end of the final senior heat, and again what are very wet conditions here in Belgium. Not completely wet, but rain has fallen for the majority of that race, and we can recap the race results from that second